Electric car targets to be met in major victory for UK as drivers ditch petrol and diesel. Well, if that isn't the biggest load of tripe I've ever read in my life, I don't know what is. It's blatant misinformation, and again, by leaving out the important bits, you're misleading the whole of, well, in this case, it's Felix Re EVs, or as I call him, Indecisive Dave. One day he's writing a positive story about EVs. One day he's writing a negative one. This one was listed on the 2nd of the 1st, 2026. It's done 46 miles. It's a 2024 on a 74. £42,900. How much are they? Or were they? 60 odd thousand pounds. It's lost 20 grand at least. 46 miles. But the thing is, where has that vehicle been since the 31st of the 10th, 2024? If you believe this, electric car targets to be met in major victory, how can losing billions of pounds be a major victory? How can having to give tax incentives away in order to sell them? How can giving taxpayers' money away to somebody who wants to buy themselves a new car? People can't afford to heat their own home or feed the children, but yet will give £3,750 to somebody who wants to buy an EV. How absolutely ludicrous. They take pensioners' heating allowance off them, 300 quid, and give 12 and a half times that amount to one person to buy an EV. How can that be right? That's a major victory to you, is it? You moron. You moron. Ditch petrol and diesel vehicles, my backside. By Felix Re EVs, published 22nd of the 12th, 2025. I was going to do this the same day, but there's been that many other things that seemingly weren't quite as stupid as this one. Despite claims that sales targets would not be hit, it seems clear that in 2025, just as last year, the industry is on track. So it seems clear, we'll see who it seems clear to later on in the story. But let me tell you this, it's not clear to me. It's not clear to the head of Virtue Motors, who says the electric targets are delusional. It's not clear to the SMMT, who say they've not hit the target. It's not clear to Cox Automotive. In fact, it's not clear to anybody who's got a brain. Honestly, this is just misinformation of the dirtiest, most despicable kind. Oh, well, they're going to hit the target, so people must like them. Yeah, I might buy an electric car. Despite it going to cost you loads of money, that climate intelligence guy, he says it'll save me 1,500 quid a year. The UK is expected to meet lofty electric car targets, again expected by who? According to new analysis, following strong vehicle sales. No, they're not sales. An interest from millions of drivers. It's distressed selling. They're selling brand new cars at the price of 12-month-old, sometimes even 2-year-old vehicles, brand new ones. Fresh data shows the UK is on course to hit the zero-emission vehicle ZEV mandate and the 28% target for the end of the year, in a major boost to the industry. It couldn't be worse for the industry. It couldn't be. They've signed their own death warrant. The ZEV mandate outlines that manufacturers must have a minimum percentage of sales come from electric cars and vans, with targets increasing every year. So it's gone from 22% last year to 28%. They didn't hit last year's target, even though the Climate Intelligence Unit said they did. They didn't. They just didn't. I mean, and even if you break it down to its simplest form, the Climate Intelligence Unit said they hit the target. Suzuki didn't sell one EV. So, no, they didn't. They didn't hit the target. They also bought a load of carbon credits from China and Tesla in order to save fines. And of course, those are non-disclosure agreements, NDAs. So nobody will say who bought what. But what you can say is they did buy them, which means they didn't hit their target. So how can you say that? Blatant misinformation. Blatant. It's not misinformation, it's a lie. It's a lie. They didn't hit the target. A 28% target has been set for 2025, before climbing to 80% of cars and 70% for vans at the end of the decade. They have got no chance. It's already been forecast that they're going to miss the target by hundreds of thousands of pounds. And don't forget, for each one they miss the target by, the government, that paragon of virtue, the government who hits all their targets, they're setting a target for an industry they know nothing about. They know nothing about anything, because none of them have had a proper job. They've no idea. Let's find the government, not the government as a whole, because that will just be taxpayers' money. Let's find Keir Starmer's entourage, however they want to pay it, say £12,000 for every house they don't build that they said they were going to. And all the other shit they come out with. Let's find them out of their own pocket, because that's where the money's going to come from for the ZEV mandate fines. It's going to come out of manufacturers and dealers. Dealers are already paying it, let's face it. They're already losing a fortune. If you look at the results, the end of year results, how can people sell more cars but make less than last year? How can people who say, for instance, their EV sales are up, lose 100 million? Do you want me to tell you how? Because the more electric vehicles you sell, the more money you lose. Simple, isn't it? Simple to me. I can see it. We buy any car, they're buying more electric vehicles. BCA, they're selling more electric vehicles that We Buy Any Car have bought in and dealers are trying to get out of. But they're losing more money. This is just garbage. Do you know what? It's a shame that Felix doesn't actually write for a newspaper. At least it will have a use. You know, you can wrap your fish and chips in it tomorrow. Because that's all it's good for. It comes as Labour committed to banning. No, Labour should be committed. It comes as Labour remains committed to banning the sale of new petrol and diesel cars from 2030, before only zero-emission vehicles will be sold from 2035 onwards. They've got no chance. Oh, look who the analysis comes from. The Energy and Climate Intelligence Unit, ECIU, highlights that flexibilities in the ZEV mandate allow for the sale of lower-emission petrol and diesel cars. Now, what they missed there is lots. They missed out lots of petrol and diesel cars, because the sale of one low-emission petrol and diesel car doesn't count the same as the sale of one electric vehicle. So therefore, to make up what you would get for one electric vehicle, you have to sell lots. This target to sell electric vehicles is actually encouraging the manufacturers to sell lots of petrol and diesel cars. Which brain-dead numbskull thought that one up? And what the Climate Intelligence Unit failed to tell you here, Colin, who wrote this article, he doesn't believe hybrids should be on sale. He doesn't believe petrol and diesel should be on sale at all. And he knows very well they aren't really counting towards the ZEV mandate. All it is a 6% reduction in the target. I've sent messages to the Climate Intelligence Unit and to the SMMT and to the Transport and Energy Department, and I think I might have done it to the EVA as well. I'll try and cut the message in, asking them how many exactly. I don't want to know lots. I don't want to know that it's 6%, because 6% really, if you equated them like for like, one for one, then the percentage of diesel and petrol cars are a heck of a lot more than 6%. If you looked at it realistically, not the percentage it's saving, not the percentage it's decreasing their ZEV target by, the clean air target by. I want to know. You have made a claim here. I want to see you working out, because I'm telling you, it's shit. It's a load of shit. I want to see it. I want to see just how many petrol and diesel vehicles they've had to register in order to get that 6% that you claim they've got. Shows you're working out. Don't just say it. Don't just say it. Shows you're working out. SMMT, you've got all the figures. Let's see. Let's see what we're being told has hit the target. Because I promise you, it's rubbish. Do you remember Woodward and Bernstein? They were in fear of their lives when they reported on Watergate. He's not asked one question. He's just put it all verbatim. Why hasn't this reporter said, oh, all right, Colin, all sounds very interesting. It's not that I don't believe you, Cole, but you know, you've got a bit of a history of like exaggerating. You know, £1,500 a day, all that, £2,600 a year. You'll save a fortune. Can you show us you're working out? Why don't they ask the question? Why don't anybody ask the question? Why don't Car Dealer magazine ask the question? Why just repeat all this shite from somebody who clearly hasn't got a clue about the motor trade? Major victory. Do me a favour, you. Analysis suggests that the flexibilities allow the percentage of EV sales to fall to 20.4%. So it's 8%, virtually, despite the headline figure of 28%. So that's actually less than the target was last year. Data from the Society of Motor Manufacturers and Traders, SMMT, shows that 426,209 new electric vehicles have been registered between January and November this year. This is an impressive 26% year-on-year jump, while EVs now make up 22.7% of the overall new car market. In comparison, sales of new petrol cars have fallen 8.3%. Well, why do you think that is? It's so they can get the percentage of EVs up. While diesel sales continue to plummet, they virtually stopped making new EVs. However, used EVs, the prices are going up, with new registrations down almost 16% compared to last year. As I say, used EV prices are going up. What does that tell you? It tells you that they're sought after. The ZEV mandate, which has been backed by the industry, backed into a corner and described as world leading, biggest loss, has been instrumental in giving manufacturers assurances that net zero targets are achieved. Now, listen to this phrasing again. Colin Walker, head of transport at the ECIU, said, despite claims that sales targets would not be hit, Colin, they've not been hit. You know it, I know it. It seems clear that in 2025, just as last year, the industry is on track to lose a fortune, to put people out of jobs. That's what they're on track to do. Absolute rubbish. If 22.7% is 426,209, 28% would be 525,700. They're basically 99,500 vehicles short, electric vehicles short. 99,500 times 12,000. So far, basically, if it wasn't for flexibilities, they would be 99,500 cars short of the target, and that would cost them 1.194 billion in fines. So, if they've hit the target, if they're on track to hit the target, explain this to me. Auto Trader, electric cars, 36,403 electric cars, filter and sort. We don't want relevance, most recent, and then we want year. Somebody's already registered a 2006 one, believe it or not. So up to 2026, up to, let's just see how many is 100 miles. 100 miles, Vauxhall Frontera electric. Sale now on. Description. 27th of 11th, 2025. First registered. Just arriving, BMW iX1. These are listed today, by the way. Marshalls. 7th of 4th, 2025. Where do you think that's been? Oh, BMW, they have to keep demonstrators for 3 months. Yeah, well, that takes it to July, if it's a demonstrator. And what's it done? 24 miles. They've had it, well, let's face it, they haven't had it since April, have they? But they've had since April to take photographs of it. Arnold Clark, E208. 29th of the 9th. So that was when they were trying to convince people that they were having a record September. BYD Dolphin Surf. The BYD's flying off the shelves. Chinese manufacturers eating the legacy car manufacturers' lunch. Marshall. When's this? Oh, 30th of the 12th, 2025. They mustn't have been working New Year's Eve. They must have had it off. So that's what I call a New Year's Eve car. Why do you think they'd have registered a car 2 days before the new year, when technically now it's a 2025 and we're in 2026? Why do you think they'd done that if they were on track to hit the ZEV mandate? Because they weren't, and it's rubbish, and you are basically putting out misinformation, which, if you don't know it's misinformation, then I suggest you stand down and let somebody else who knows what they're doing. Hate to see anybody losing the job, but this is really important to me. Truth in the motor trade, really important. 30th of the 9th. These are just coming on sale today. Mini Countryman, nearly new. Listed today, 2025 75. '30th of the 12th, 2025. Registered, Lotus Electra. Crikey, I wouldn't be surprised. Delivery mileage only. 26th of the 9th, 2025. This one was listed on the 2nd of the 1st, 2026. It's done 46 miles. It's a 2024 on a 74. £42,900. How much are they? Or were they? 60 odd thousand pounds. It's lost 20 grand at least. 46 miles. But the thing is, where has it been? Where has that vehicle been since the 31st of the 10th, 2024? How has that vehicle not sold? Volkswagen ID4, nearly new, 23rd of the 12th, 2025. Do you think that all those vehicles registered on New Year's Eve are because they were on track to hit the target? Honestly, you'll see the headlines in a few days. EVs accounted for 1 in 4 of all idiots that registered cars in December. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Happy New Year to you. Bye-bye.